last week in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
Wow.
It was awesome. So I was going to edit this poem that I wrote a couple weeks ago when Adam came to ETHS.
True.
That is about this very poem. Very painting here.
That's right.
Yeah, but since I was gone, it's still in the editing process. So instead, I'm going to read an Anne Sexton poem.
Okay.
Called Briar Rose, which, as you may know, is the real name of Sleeping Beauty.
Huh.
Consider a girl who keeps slipping off, arms limp as old carrots, into the hypnotist's trance, into a spirit world, speaking with the gift of tongues. She is stuck in a time machine, suddenly 2 years old and sucking her thumb, as inward as a snail, learning to talk again. She's on a voyage. She is swimming further and further back, up like a salmon, struggling into her mother's pocketbook. Little doll girl, come here to Papa, sit on my knee. I have kisses for the back of your neck. A penny for your thoughts, princess. I will hunt them like an emerald. Come be my Snooky and I will give you a root. That kind of voyage, rank as honeysuckle. Once, a king had a christening for his daughter Briar Rose, and because she had only 12 golden plates, he asked only 12 fairies to the grand event. The 13th fairy, her fingers as long and thin as straws, her eyes burnt by cigarettes, her uterus an empty teacup, arrived with an evil gift. She made this prophecy: the princess shall prick herself on a spinning wheel on her 15th year and fall down dead kaput.
Wow.
The court fell silent. The king looked like Munch's scream. Fairies' prophecies in times like those held water. However, the 12th fairy had a certain kind of eraser, and thus she mitigated the curse, changing that death into 100-year sleep. The king ordered every spinning wheel exterminated and exorcised. Briar Rose grew to be a goddess, and each night the king bit the hem of her gown to keep her safe. He fastened the moon up with a safety pin to give her perpetual light. He forced every male in the court to scour his tongue with babo lest they poison the air she dwelt in. Thus she dwelt in his odor, rank as honeysuckle. On her 15th birthday, she pricked her finger on a charred spinning wheel and the clocks stopped. Yes, indeed, she went to sleep. The king and queen went to sleep. The courtiers, the flies on the wall, the fire in the hearth grew still, and the roast meat stopped cackling. The trees turned into metal, and the dog became china. They all lay in a trance, each a catatonic, stuck in the time machine. Even the frogs were zombies. Only a bunch of briar roses grew, forming a tall wall of tacks around the castle. Many princes tried to get through the brambles, for they had heard much of Briar Rose. But they had not scoured their tongues, so they were held by the thorns and thus were crucified. In due time, 100 years passed, and a prince got through. The briars parted as if for Moses, and the prince found the tableau intact. He kissed Briar Rose, and she woke up crying, "Daddy, Daddy, presto, she's out of prison." She married the prince, and all went well, except for the fear of sleep. Briar Rose was an insomniac. She could not nap or lie in sleep without the court chemist mixing her some knockout drops, and never in the prince's presence. "If it is to come," she said, "sleep must take me unawares while I am dancing or laughing, so that I do not know that brutal place where I lie down with cattle prods, a hole in my cheek open. Therefore, I must not dream. For when I do, I see the table set and a faltering crone at my place, her eyes burnt by cigarettes, as she eats betrayal like a slice of meat. I must not sleep, for while asleep I'm 90 and I think I'm dying. Death rattles in my throat like a marble. I wear tubes like earrings. I lie as still as a bar of iron. I can stick a needle through my kneecap and I won't flinch. I'm all shot up with Novocaine. This trance girl is yours to do with. You could lay her in a grave, an awful package, and shovel dirt on her face, and she'll never call back, "Hello there." But if you kiss her on the mouth, her eyes will spring open and she'll call out, "Daddy, Daddy, presto!" She's out of prison. There was a theft, that much I am told. I was abandoned, that much I know. I was forced backward, I was forced forward, I was passed hand to hand like a bowl of fruit. Each night I am nailed into place and I forget who I am. Daddy, that's another kind of prison. It's not the prince at all, but my father drunkenly bent over my bed, circling the abyss like a shark. My father thick upon me like some sleeping jellyfish. What voyage this, little girl, this coming out of prison? God help this life after death.